Hi, Dr. Reagan Robertson, CCO of Productive Dentist Academy here, and I have a question for you. Are you finding it hard to get your team aligned to your vision, but you know you deserve growth just like everybody else? That's why we've created the PDA Productivity Workshop. For nearly 20 years, PDA workshops have helped dentists just like you align their teams, get control of scheduling, and create productive practices that they love walking into every day. Just imagine how you will feel when you know your schedule is productive, your systems are humming, and your team is aligned to your vision. It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy. We can help. Visit productivedentist.com/workshop. That's productivedentist.com/workshop to secure your seats now.
Do your due diligence, please. Because coaching is a necessary thing to reach that next level of understanding.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Bruce B. Baird, and you're listening to the Productive Dentist Podcast. In this podcast, I will give you everything that I've learned over the last 40 years in dentistry, working with thousands of dentists. I'll tell you, it's not that my way is the only way. It's just one that has worked extremely well for me, and I'd love to share that with you so you too can enjoy the choices and lifestyle that productivity allows. More time for things you love, increased pay, better team relationships, and lowered stress. Let's get into it with this week's episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast.
Hi, this is Dr. Bruce Baird with the Productive Dentist Podcast. And as we're starting out this new year, one of the things that I have found to be very interesting on the threads on Facebook and Dental Town and everything else is, what do you guys think about consultants, or coaches? And the truth is you get so many different answers, and so many people are throwing out the stuff that I've been ripped off by a consultant. I've been ripped off. Why would I pay that much money to somebody to show me what's going on? And I guess I want to step back and talk about that for a bit because, I consider myself a coach, a dentist, consulting. Consulting sounds like you're going to have somebody come in and they're going to consult you on how to do every little thing. And that's possibility. Somebody who coaches you is somebody who helps you do things that you never thought you'd be able to do. That's what a coach does. They support you. They give you thoughts and ideas. It's a two-way street. Consultants will come in and tell you what to do, but if you don't do it, well, you're not going to get any benefit from it, which is across the board what tends to happen sometimes with the folks that put the word out that, oh, no, you don't need any consultants. You don't need coaches. And the people I know that are successful, they all have coaches. They all, I have coaches. I have mentors. I hired 9 different consulting firms to come in my office over 30 years. Why did I do that? I did it because I have a total understanding that I don't know everything. And, you see these posts from arrogant, just people who think just because they went to dental school, they know what the hell they're doing. And the truth is, dental school teaches you the least amount necessary to open up a business without any knowledge of how to run a business. And to think that you know everything. Now, if you grew up in a dental office, if you've been with your dad or your mom and you've seen how the dental office works and all of that stuff, well, maybe you do have a head start. But the truth is, once I realized, which was very early on, that I didn't know everything. When I got out of dental school and went straight in the military, which was very good because I got to work with 100 other dentists. And I was looking at the work they were doing. And I was going, I don't know how to do that. Well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And that's CE, that's continuing ed. But the coaching is, coaching is how do I handle my team? How do How can I run my business? What are the things that I can do better? And I see these folks saying, "Oh yeah, that coaching is a ripoff. There are charlatans out there that do this. They charge $1 jillion." And yes, there are charlatans out there. There are people who will screw you. I don't give a crap what business you're in. They will screw you. The thing to do is look at the potential that you want to learn something. Look at the potential that I want to grow my business. I want to change the way I think so that I can be successful. I don't want to struggle. And there's a lot of people who struggled and never had a consultant and finally figured it out. I have to say I probably was one of those early on for the first couple of years in private practice. But then I realized I've got to have some help. I've got to find other thoughts, other ideas, just like when I was in dental school. And they taught you all these different techniques, and they certainly didn't, again, teach us anything about business. But, having said that, thinking about the possibilities of working with a coach or working with a consultant, what would I recommend? Well, first of all, I'd call the consultant. I would find out about them. I might even ask questions on some of the threads. If somebody had a great experience, I would reach out to them. I would call them. If somebody had a bad experience, I'd reach out and talk to them. It's due diligence. Don't just blindly accept a coach when you're not ready for a coach. If you're not ready to change and do things different, then you don't need a coach. You're just going to continue to do the same things you've always done, and you're always going to get the same things you've always gotten. And one of the things when we started Productive Dentist Academy 20 years ago, you can go through the threads on Dentaltown. You can go through and ask people. I mean, we had one of the largest threads on Dentaltown history, and you won't find very many negative comments. And the reason is because I don't need to be a consultant. I don't need to coach dentists. We do it because we love it. Yes, is it costly to do? Yeah, we've got coaches all over the country. We've got a marketing company. We've got those things, and we want to continue. But we've built that by supporting dentists, by helping them get to the next level, by helping them learn new technology, even new techniques. We'll have, a PDA doc that's doing something a certain way, and we'll tell all the other docs about it and say, hey, you need to call them up and go see them. And as far as consulting, here's the biggest problem with consultants is many of them are people who weren't all that happy in a dental office, and they decided to tell other people how to do it because they knew how to do it. And so they either go out on their own and open up their own little shop and get a few clients, charge whatever it is they want, and they only have one philosophy. They only have one thought process. What we teach at Productive Dentist Academy is different. What we teach at Productive Dentist Academy is stuff. It's not the only way of doing things, but it's a tried and true approach of growing your productivity. It's a tried and true approach of increasing your profitability. We've put together, we've talked about the Lampa Dental Group. This is a group of 15 Productive Dentist Academy practices that the largest broker firm in the country said, these guys are a bunch of unicorns. And when I say guys, I use that collectively, but these are unicorns. Their practices are extremely profitable. They're just doing things in a low stress environment. Now, dentistry is stressful, don't get me wrong, but they're doing it the right way. And I'm thankful that they followed it. Now, they could have followed, Mark Costas. Mark is a great friend, fantastic dentist, great guy. And you can go see Mark, and Mark can teach you things. It'll be a little bit different than what we teach, but find somebody that's relatable to you. Now, some people say, well, you're older. I'm the old guy in the group. And the truth is, maybe I have some experiences that I can share with you. Maybe there are things that we can talk about that maybe a younger consultant or younger coach may haven't gotten to that point. But I wouldn't hesitate to sign up with Productive Dentist Academy. I wouldn't hesitate to sign up with Dental Success Institute. With Dental Nachos, Paul Goodman is phenomenal, has a whole group. But when you see some guy at the end of his career decides he wants to be a consultant and a coach, I would call that being a mentor, not a coach. They've never done it their whole career, and now all of a sudden they want to become a coach. Okay, well, fine. And I'm going to listen as a mentor would do. But as far as them coming into my practice and teaching me things, they have very little experience. They have very little stuff, and they're popping up everywhere. Look at their body of work. If somebody is leading it, look at their body of work and look at the people that you're going to go into business with. Do your due diligence, please, because coaching is a necessary thing to reach that next level of understanding. And I know it. I'm continuing to be coached. But don't be the one that's, just because you've never done it, say, I'd never have somebody come in and tell me what you do. If you're saying that, then that tells me what kind of person you are. And, PDA doesn't really want to work with guys who know everything. The condescending know-it-all dentist, there's plenty of them out there, and they will put the word out on social media. They will put the word out on Dental Town. They will put the word out all over. But they're doing the same old shit they've been doing for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. There are a lot of dentists who are, angry. They're angry that other people are more successful. They're angry that people are increasing their profitability. So, and they'll complain about the cost of a coach. If you pay $75,000 for a coach, or $50,000 or $60,000 for a year, I've heard it being as high as $150,000 for a year of coaching in the dental realm. And your return on investment is not, 7, 8 times that. So if you're going to pay $150,000, you better increase your profitability by, it's not just production, by, let's say, at least 3 or 4x, maybe a 5x. Private equity looks at a 5x as a great return on their investment. They put the money in and they get a return on their investment of 5x. They look at that and say, outstanding. And sometimes even more. But if somebody's charging you, $60,000, you ought to see an increase in your profitability of, over a period of time, of 5x. And can that be done? Absolutely. We're working with docs all the time that we do that. But when somebody's charging you $150,000 or $100,000, is it cost? Is it the price? It's not the price. It's the ROI. It's the return on your investment. And I know that we have a 20-year track record. So when you're talking to another consulting company, find out how long their track record is. Find out what are the negatives? What are the things that people have said negative about them? What are the things that they say positive about them? Do your due diligence. And if you do your due diligence, what you're going to find is coaching is a necessary thing in dentistry, I believe. Consulting is a necessary thing. I would say look at who it is that you're working with and look at what they've done. Look at their history. Look at their body of work, and then pull the trigger, and then hold their feet to the fire. But don't pull the trigger if you're not going to change. If you're going to just sit there and go, oh no, we tried that before and we don't do that. We don't do this. We don't do that. You're not ready for a coach. If you're not willing to change and to take better care of your patients, and to get to a new level of profitability, a new level of decreased stress, then you're not ready for a coach. If you're not ready to do those things, don't do it. So anyway, this is probably a straight in your face type podcast, but it's the experience and me watching on Facebook all these idiots saying stuff that they have no freaking clue what they're talking about. They have no clue. They've never done it, so they're going to be against it. And you know what? I don't circle myself with people like that. And if you do, fine. But if you're looking for a coaching relationship and stuff, Productive Dentist Academy is here. We also have transition strategies. We also have marketing. We have, across the board, business education on how to run a business. Those are all things that we do. And please do your due diligence. And we'd love to work with you. So look forward to our next podcast, and have a great year.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, make sure you subscribe. Pass it along to a friend. Give us a like on iTunes and Spotify, or drop me an email at podcast@productivedentist.com. Don't forget to check out other podcasts from the Productive Dentist Academy at productivedentistpodcast.com. Join me again next week for another episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast.